Good morning, everybody. This is another installment of the Drive-By Chaplain, and just kind of thinking and processing my day and what is before me. And I don't know why. I have found that a number of you have messaged me about how a particular message spoke to you for that particular day. And so that's a real blessing to hear. And so I don't know why this particular message is what came to me today, but maybe one of you need to hear it. And that is, have you ever known somebody who they were double-minded? Have you ever heard that phrase where they talk out of both sides of their mouth? You don't know what they really believe, because at one minute they say this and the other minute they say this. I mean, right now we see that a whole lot with the political season. But friends, family, co-workers, people that you should trust or should at least have a little bit of trust for, when they're double-minded, it's awfully hard to carry out a relationship with them, right? I mean, the trust factor is huge. It's no surprise that Scripture talks about being double-minded. In fact, Scripture tells us that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. It reminds me of the show Survivor. A lot of times they'll have a game that is an endurance game, and they have to stand on a block or something like that with both legs, and steadily they change the weight of each block. I mean, I can't explain it other than the fact that it basically makes them very unstable. And that's the goal, to help them lose balance. Well, a double-minded man, a person who can't settle on what they believe, who can't settle on what they think, they're unstable in that way. And the fact of the matter is, as they are unstable, eventually they're going to fall. That's what happens. So Scripture tells us that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, but there's a couple other scriptures that also speak to that. One is, no man can serve two masters. Either he will serve the one and reject the other, or he'll serve the other and reject the one. And so you cannot serve both God and money. That's an example of being double-minded. Elijah went before the people of Israel in 2 Kings, and they had for a long time served the god Baal as part of Jezebel and the king. I don't even remember his name off the top of my head as I'm driving, but at any rate, they had served their god rather than the true God. And so when Elijah challenged the king and Jezebel to a duel on Mount Carmel, he went before the people while the prophets were cutting themselves and everything else to try to get their God to show up. And he said to the people, how long are you going to do this? If God is God, serve him. If Baal is God, serve him. So they were clearly double-minded. Maybe you today are struggling with being double-minded. Maybe you are in a relationship with a spouse or significant other, and there's this other person that's out there that you also are having thoughts about. Well, guess what? While that's taking place, your relationship is unstable in all its ways. You are being double-minded. Or perhaps it's being double-minded with God. Maybe you have your relationship with God, but you also have this part of your heart or part of your mind or part of your spirit that it's reserved for somebody else or something else. That would be an idol that you are serving rather than God. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's some secret sin that nobody knows about. Maybe it's the sites you look at, or maybe it's the things that you are doing in private that harms your integrity that nobody knows about currently, but when you fall, when you become unstable, they'll know. I don't know what is causing whoever needs this to be double-minded. But just know this. You need to be of singular mind. You need to let the mind of Christ dwell in you richly. You need to do what the greatest command says, to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. All. That's a big word for 3 letters. All your heart. All your mind. It's very important. So, I want to leave you with that today, to think about whatever is causing you to be double-minded, whatever would serve to take away your focus on your relationship with God or your relationship with a spouse or an employer, whatever it is. Understand there will come a time where you will lose balance and you'll fall. And those things which have been done in secret will be revealed. And it would be much better to do away with those things now in secret, so that you can thrive as God would have you to do. I hope you have a blessed day today.